Hey, good morning again, crew. Today we're going to take a look at adverbs. Now, adverbs are words that are something we haven't looked at quite yet this year, but we've used them. In fact, we use them a lot. You use them a lot. You don't even realize you're using them. But adverbs are words that we use in this way. They tell more about a verb. Okay? Now, this is different than what we've looked at before because we've talked about what are called adjectives. And sometimes adjectives and adverbs we get mixed up. Adjectives tell more about a noun. And nouns, if you remember, are naming words. So nouns are words like table, girl, building, car, ground, dog, stuff like that. So we can describe those different things using adjectives. The brown dog. In fact, we just did that last week when we were talking about using more powerful words. The yellow polka dotted tadpole, things like that. Those are adjectives. They tell us about nouns. Adverbs are going to tell us more about verbs. Verbs are action words. Verbs are words like stand, walk, sit, sleep, talk, see. Those kinds of words. So adverbs are going to tell us about those things. The other night I was able to go over to Groton and see Elowen. Hi Elowen. My little baby, right? My granddaughter. Hello Elowen. It's so good to see you, Elowen. And when I held Elowen, I had to hold her gently. Now I could just say I held Elowen. But when I say I held Elowen gently, then you know, I didn't just like go, hey Ellen, smash her in like this. I picked her up and I held her like this. It tells us how you do something. If you walk into a room, you might say, I walked into a room, and I might picture you just kind of sauntering in, or maybe you ran in. But if you say, I walked into a room quickly, or I quickly walked into a room, now I'm seeing you, oh, you're in a hurry. Maybe you're late for class because you stopped at the bathroom coming back from PE, and you know, Mr. Nugget will be, where are you at? Right? So quickly walk tells me you are hustling, bustling, and you're kind of out of breath as you're coming in, right? Now, if you notice the words that I used, quickly walked and gently held, both of them had the same thing. This is something which you note with adverbs. A lot of times adverbs end with ly. That is a terrible Y, so I'm going to redo it. Ly is what we use a lot of times at the end of adverbs, especially adverbs that tell us how, which is we're going to focus on today. Adverbs that tell us how are quickly walked. Well, how did he walk? He walked quickly. How did he hold the baby? He held the baby gently. So adverbs can sometimes tell us how we do something, okay? He quietly spoke to his friend. Quietly versus he loudly spoke to his team. Quietly, loudly, those are adverbs that tell us how somebody spoke. And again, if you say, I spoke to my friend, well, you might be talking like this, you might be talking like this, or you might be talking like this. But adverbs are another form of strong language, powerful language that help us to understand, to see, to hear, to smell, to taste things a little better as we're reading them. Because again, especially when we're talking over a distance like this, I need to use adverbs so you can understand what it is that I'm talking about. So adverbs help us to do that. So today we're going to take a look at page 173, where we're talking about adverbs that tell how. Remember, they're going to tell us how in these sentences by telling us more about the verb. So in the first sentence, sentence number 1, it says, the bus driver spoke loudly. That's one that we just used, isn't it? So it says in the directions that we are going to underline the adverb that tells how the action was done. The first thing we need to do is we need to figure out what the action is in a sentence. So as I look at this sentence, the bus driver spoke loudly. The action being done in this sentence is spoke. That's what the bus driver is doing. The bus driver is a noun. He's the subject of the sentence, or she's the subject of the sentence, depending on if your bus driver is Shelley or if it's Doug. That is the subject of the sentence. Who is doing this speaking? But spoke, that is our verb, because that's what's being done. But now, how did they speak? Yeah, loudly. And loudly is one of those adverbs that has the ly at the end. So in that sentence, all the way to the last word in the sentence, we're just going to take our pencil and underline the word loudly, because that's how the bus driver spoke, loudly. All right, let's go to sentence number 2. He carefully called each name. Okay, so now we know the bus driver is what? So maybe it's Doug, maybe it's Kevin, maybe it's Bill. Okay, but let's check. He carefully called each name. So again, he is our subject. It's a pronoun, but that can be our subject, he. And what did he do? Yeah, he called. He called each name. How did he call, though? That's what we need to know. How did he call? Yep, carefully. And again, it ends with that ly. And the other thing, by telling us this, it tells us that he didn't just go, is Cody on the bus? Is Alexis on the bus? Is Declan on the bus? But he actually went, is Declan here? Okay, thank you, Declan. Is Alexis here? Because I'm thinking carefully, he's pronouncing it, and he's giving time for the people to respond because he wants to know they're on the bus. But I don't know that until the person who wrote the sentence gives me this word carefully, because it tells me how. Okay? So on this page, that's what we're going to do. Find the adverbs that tell how. So my suggestion to you to make this easy on yourself is, who is a subject? And then find that verb. What are they doing in the sentence? And that way, once you find out what they're doing, then you can find that word that tells how they are doing that action. Whether it's loudly, carefully, quickly, slowly, gently, whatever that might be. Okay? These are adverbs. Now we'll look at adverbs again on another page, because adverbs don't just tell us how, they also can tell us more by telling us other things like when. But today we're just going to focus on the how. Now as you're talking today, as you're speaking with mom and dad, as mom and dad are talking to you, as you're speaking with brothers and sisters, listen for these adverbs. Listen for mom or dad to say words like ly. As you're reading your books, look for words that use ly. Authors use these words a lot because, again, they want to describe for you so you can see, taste, smell, hear, touch these things and understand how things are being done in the story. Okay? So if the heroine in your story or the hero in your story courageously face the giant, courageously face, it's telling you that they're not fearfully facing the giant, but they're courageously facing the giant. And it shows you what they look like, how they look, powerful and strong, ready to go, right? So look for those adverbs in the books that you're reading today. Look for those adverbs and listen for them as you're talking to others today, okay? Because they're all around us and they're being used all the time. We're just going to take a worksheet and focus on it a little bit, okay? All right, catch you guys later.